Guys, today you're going to get a special treat because I'm going to introduce somebody that many of you know, one of the best offensive line coaches in all of America, whether it's high school, college, or the NFL. And that's our offensive line specialist here for CoachTF 365, and that's Brian Hamilton. Brian was a client of mine for over 11 years, and at one time, he led the state of California, his team did, in passing. The very next year, they led the state of California in rushing. That shows somebody that understands not only how to coach, but especially how to coach offensive linemen. And today, now he's been in college football for several years, and Brian is going to be the one person that's going to teach you how to make your offensive line a plug-and-play offensive line. He will give you the best details that there is, both in scheme and fundamentals. So if you want to have the best season ever, make sure that you get to CoachTF.com and become one of the top 5% of all the coaches in your profession. Now on to today's offensive line training with Coach Brian Hamilton for CoachTF 365.
Hi coaches, welcome to another CoachTF 365 training. I'm Brian Hamilton, currently the tight end coach at Texas State University. Previous to that, I was the offensive line coach and run game coordinator at Murray State in Murray, Kentucky. Prior to that, I was at University of California, Berkeley as an offensive line assistant where I worked with Coach Franklin. And prior to that, I was a 12-year client of Coach Franklin's at Concord High School in Concord, California. And today, what I want to cover are the 3 ways that we're going to maximize your practice time as an offensive line coach for your offensive line. We're talking about maximizing O-line efficiency in practice. We all know that you've got the largest position group, and we know that you've got the most to get through every week in order to effectively win games. So how are we going to do that here with TF 365? We've got a couple problems. The first one is many high school programs require the best players to play on both sides of the ball. And that's the thing about Coach TF 365 is this is a high school coach-driven program. Now that I'm in college, nobody plays both ways. And so my meeting time, that's all I'm doing is talking to offensive players. But as a high school coach, everybody played both ways, which made efficiency and practice and preparation critical to our success. Even if you're at a high school program where you can afford to play guys one way, events occur every season that force a personnel change in your offensive line. And everywhere I've ever been, I've never been blessed enough to have a great first string left tackle and a really good second string left tackle and a great left guard and a really good second string left guard. What I've typically had are swing guys. So I had my starting tackles and I had a guy that I was counting on to play both. And that guy playing both might be the starting right guard. You've got to make sure that you're ready when that change is forced, either through injury, eligibility, somebody moving. A change is going to happen and you've got to be ready for it. You must be vigilant in preparing for the worst case scenario while also progressing as individuals and as a unit. So while we're talking about possible changes in your lineup, you can't practice everybody the same amount of reps because we're trying to be efficient. And in being efficient, we've got to target our efforts and energies appropriately in order to make sure that we're prepared, but we're hunting elephants, not field mice. That we're always addressing the big problems first, because that's where you're going to win your games on 80% of those snaps. The first way that we're going to maximize your efficiency as an offensive line coach is we're going to show you a ton of drill work that eliminates static lines. A lot of time is wasted with kids standing in line waiting to work. Almost every drill that we're going to go over has the adaptation to have everybody working at once. This is a simple wave drill, But in this, I ran this wave drill with up to 40 players. Now, not all 40 players were getting individual attention, but 40 players were getting work and reps and working on a skill. And it was easy for me to identify players that were playing too high. It was easy for me to identify players that were playing with poor posture. I was able to easily rep players, help them to improve as individuals, and get us all better as a unit. The second key to maximizing your efficiency as an offensive line coach in practice is drill work that teaches offensive linemen to be comfortable at any position along the offensive line. Like I alluded to earlier, your second string right guard may be your first string left guard because your next best player is a left guard, and that's where he takes most of his reps. So what we talk about quite a bit is drill work, especially in the summer and in the winter, that emphasizes young men working out of both stances. Anything that we do one way, we can also do the other. And it's important to rep guys that way, especially when you're not in actual season. The third way that we're going to help maximize your efficiency as an offensive line coach in practice is we're going to give you a practice format that allows the offensive line to prepare for base looks as well as unique situations in fronts. We go in depth discussing how to prepare your offensive line for the worst blitzes and the worst looks while not slowing down the practice of the entire team in order to set those looks properly for your offensive line. We talk about how to meet. We talk about how to show these young men what they're going to see week to week while not slowing down the looks for everybody. So today we talked about how to maximize the efficiency of your practice time with your offensive line. That's all for today, coaches. Those are my 3 keys to maximizing efficiency. Drill work that doesn't have static lines, the ability to practice everybody on either side of the ball, and a practice format that allows you to emphasize base looks while also getting repetitions against unique fronts and looks. There's much more where that comes from. Keep watching because we will be continuing this series every week. If you have any questions or comments, please leave a comment below. We'd love to hear from you. Have a great day. Fast Fight Finish.
That's it, everybody. Those are the life-changing, career-changing, career improvement points that we have for today. If you enjoyed this, please go visit CoachTF.com. Better than that, book a call with me today. Get on the phone and give me a call. Improve your life. And then the most important thing, never forget, do something good today for somebody who could never repay you as long as you live. If you do that, you'll have lived a great life. So, whoa, wait, stop just a minute. I'm not going to let you guys go. There's 3 things that you've got to know. There's 3 numbers that you need to remember. July the 4th, 2021. Don't let that date go by. Write it down right now. Make sure that you become a member of CoachTF.com before that date. Why? Because you get $1,000 off for the first time ever, and you get 30 members to join with you. In other words, your middle school staff, your little league staff, your booster club presidents, etc. Everybody's going to get access to CoachTF.com and all the things that go with it. And that includes our summer install. So basically, I'm going to install all of your summer practices, all your summer drills, and I'm actually going to make your game plans for you so that everything is done so that you can have a much more time with your family, and you can also have a whole lot more fun and also join the top 5% of all the coaches in your profession. You can't beat it, so join us, guys. CoachTF.com. Remember, before July the 4th, 2021.